everybody, and welcome to Ozscale Modeling, and welcome to part one of this build, which I'll show you here, is the US self-propelled M40 155mm gun by Tamiya, 1/35 scale, and I'm really looking forward to building this. So if you haven't already, on the playlist there's the unboxing and review I've done of this. So if you're thinking of buying this and you want to know what you're getting in the box and what all the details will be, go back to the playlist and have a look at that video. Also, I highly recommend you subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications bell if you haven't already, so you get notified each time the video is released, especially as we go through the progress and build this thing up. And of course, at the end of the video, give us a thumbs up if you like the video, and comments are always welcome. So to begin with, let's open up first and have a look. So for those who don't know, this is a 2016 model. This came out. It includes some photo etch and 8 figures, and the actual gun itself is movable. You can raise it up or lower it. There's also a claw-like shovel on the back that can be moved, as well as the breech to load the gun can be open and closed. And I think there's options on the rear platform where the crew can stand, what you can do there. And there's a lot of equipment and tools in this, which is something that really caught my attention. All right, so we won't go through all the details in here because that's all been done in the unboxing, but what I will do is explain what I do when I start any build, and that is I like to organize myself. And first of all, what I'll do is I'll label all the sprues so I know which one's A, B, C, sprue D, just so they're easier to reach for and grab me up looking around for things, the letters and that. So that one's letter D. So what I'll do is I'll get a bit of probably some of my tape here and put a bit of tape on it somewhere and put the letter D on it. And then I could put them back in the box, but I'm thinking of using a plastic container I can stand them up in, so they're all kept in one place and I can see everything. That's the plan for that. All right. I also use a lot of containers. For those who watch my channel will know that I use these plastic containers. I line them with paper towels, and any bits and pieces that you put together, like substructures, things like that, you put them in there and keep them safe until they need to be used. Also, for keeping small parts in, these little containers, you can buy these little sauce containers with lids. They're good for both keeping small parts in that you take off the sprue so you don't lose them. They're also good for paint as well. If you need to mix some paint, and you don't need all of it. You can throw the cap on it, write what it is, put it aside. Paint can stay in this. I've had paint that I've reused in this, months later. Just re-stir it up and it's fine. Right, so that's that. What else have I got to show you? We'll have a look at the instruction book to start with. Now, I've also bought some aftermarket tracks for this, so I probably won't be using the rubber one that's included in the box. I'll be using these ones. That'll be a little later on. So going over here, the first thing I wanted to show you is the paints required. So we've got the paints required here. What I've done, and it's another thing I do as well, is I have a red pen and I mark off everything I've done. So for instance, if you're building a part and I've taken it off the sprue, I'll circle it and and I know that those parts are done. And then when I've completed it, it's been attached to the model or to the part that you're building, I'll put an X through it, and that'll show that it's completed. All right, and of course we'll tick off the step as we go. But here for the paints, there's a bit of glare, isn't there? Let me see if I can fix the camera up and get rid of that glare back in a sec. Okay, so I think I'll fix that up a bit better. So as I was saying for the paints, these are the colors. So the main color for this is TS28. TS meaning it's in a rattle can, which I don't use. I only use rattle cans for clear coating. So the other option from that, it's the olive drab, which is, there it is there, XF62. So I have XF62, but I don't have much. I mean, this has already got thinner mixed with it. So I've actually ordered another 2 of these to come. More than enough, but you can't have too much olive drab, I'm finding out. So I'll have 2 of those coming. While we're talking about orders, I'm using Mr. Finishing Surfacer Black. This is my go-to for primer. And this is great stuff. Fantastic. It just sprays so well, leaves a really beautiful surface. So I use this. Now, it's getting low as well. It's already got thinner in it, so I'm probably down to half of that. I've got another one ordered on the way as well with that. So 2 of those and 1 of those coming. So with all the paints, and as you can see, this tank isn't just olive drab. There's quite a collection here. We've got black and red, gunmetal, we've got chrome silver, we've got semi-gloss black, we've got titanium gold, copper, flat brown, flat flesh for the figures. We've got khaki drab, not sure the difference there. We've got metallic grey, olive drab, red brown, dark iron, and rubber black, obviously for the rollers. Now, what I do is, look here, there is all my paints. So I've gone through my paint collection and got out what I need. I have all these paints. I don't have the specific red brown, but I do have a deck brown that I can shade that whatever I want, but that's going to be close enough. We've got the copper here. I have gold leaf instead of titanium, whatever that was. There was a titanium gold. I think that will be okay. I think I'll get away with using that. You don't have to go with the colours exactly. Close enough is good enough. We've got desert yellow I added here because I just might need that. I also have no, that's not the one. Buff. XF57 buff is a good shading colour to blend in your work. We'll go into that when I start doing some painting. But there it is. So there's all our required paints, and they'll go into the next room where I've got my airbrush set up, and everything's right where I need it. Okay, so which brings us to all of this we don't need to go through. Go over the page. We can start on page 4, and we have step 1. This is the beginning. So the journey begins. All right, first of all, I'm going to go and sort out all these sprues, get them labeled and easily accessible into a container. And yeah, I'm excited. We can make a start. Okay, back shortly. Okay, so ready to go. I'll throw a photo up there in the corner of where all my sprues are sitting in the container. As you can see, I can see everything where it all is. No problem. Nothing's going to get lost. Something falls off, it'll land in the tub there, so I'm not going to lose it. And yeah, so ready to go. Now, step one, we need sprue B. Looks like. Yep. Reach across and grab sprue B. There it is. All right. Now, let's have a look here. This is the lower hull we're starting on. And we have to get B3, which looks like this big piece here. Yeah, this is B3. This looks like the base of the actual gun. So, yeah. All right, let's get that one off. And see how we go. Took me a while to get started. When I took all the paints into the spare room where I've got all my airbrush set up, I gave a big clean up in there too. So tidied things up, put some new fresh paper towels down out there, and it's all set to go. So we'll take these pieces off that we need for this. So we got that one. We need B14, which will be this one here. B14. Yeah, so I'm actually really looking forward to getting a new, getting a spray booth, which I've never had before. At the moment, I'm just set up on a aluminium fold-up table in the spare bedroom by the window, and I just use cardboard boxes as a backing, and I just airbrush there. But my good mate Jace over at Aussie Scale Modelling has kindly donated his spray booth as he's buying a new one to replace the old one. And I'll just cover the postage from Queensland, and it's mine. So I'm looking forward to setting that up and having a decent spray area. It's got LED lights and exhaust fan, and that'll be fantastic. But if you want to whip over and have a look at his YouTube channel, I'll put his logo up in the corner here and his link down in the description. And whip over there and give him a sub and have a look at some of the videos there and some amazing content. And yeah, share the love, as they say. Good bloke, very good bloke. All right, so that's that one. Then we need B5, and there's B5 is this one here. Take that off. That. There's that. Jace has also taken over the business and company of Outlaw Paints. Some of you may be aware of it, some may not. I'll also put that link down in the description. Outlaw Paints has got some really good top quality modelling paint, and well, the website says it all. So go over there and hit that link as well and have a look. All right, that's off. So that's those pieces. Then we need D80, which is a different sprue, so we can put that back. Take out D80. This one I've kept in the bag because there's a lot of small parts on here. So D80 is, it looks like there's two of them. Let's have a look. And yes, there is. There's two D80s just in there. And so I'll take that off and that off. Okay, pop that back where it's safe. So the diagram here, I'll just show you. There's our pieces we've taken off. They've all got to get connected together. Then we've got B10, which we haven't got yet. That looks like possibly the floor of the hull. Let me just... Sorry, I sneezed. I'm going to do that off camera. All right. So B10 and B4. And there's a thing here showing the way that's going to sit inside, obviously at a bit of an angle, which is correct. So let's get B10 off. Back to the B sprue. And number 10 is this one here. Cleaning up those sprue points after. And B4, which is this one here. Four. There we go. Spill away. All right, well, I'm going to clean these up. Get this, tidy all the edge, all those bits of sprue off. Give them a bit of a sand around there. And we'll come back and put these bits together. Okay, be back in a second. Okay, welcome back. Got all the parts all cleaned up. All the sprue attachment points are all gone. All fine. So now we're just looking at how these go together. So this part here pretty much drops in there and gets glued in. Yeah, I'm fairly sure we just glue that in, so that's not a problem. And then this piece here sits on there. This will go over and on top of that. Is that right? No, up the other way. Goes like that. That will sit into there. And it will go like that. Yeah. All right. What caught me and confused me was that, see that slit in there? There's a sort of a point to it. You can see inside here. So there's that section there that's sort of cut out. And I don't know what that's for. Nothing goes in there. There's nothing on here that connects to that. I don't know why that was like that. But anyway, can't go any other way, so it should be all right. I'm just going to put some glue. We'll use our Tamiya, this one for that. A little bit thicker cement. Yeah. Just run that around the edge of there. That's it. Drop that in there. Pretty much it. This one here, well, just sits like that. I might just use the extra thin on that. Run that around, a bit of pressure here and it'll seep underneath. Just go like this, like that. Run it around there. Just hold that for a few seconds. And that'll go in place. We're getting there, almost there. Almost there through step one, I should say. That's that. These parts can go on, but after I attach this. So I just want to make sure this goes in. There's a couple of locating points there for these two. There's also a gap in between there where that's going to sit. So as long as all those line up properly, that and like that, that's how it's supposed to go. And that all sits good. Yeah. And what I'll do now is I'll just put bit of glue around here and on there as well. Put that on. I'll put something a bit heavy on top of that too, just to weigh that down. Maybe my photo etch. My photo etch will hold that down. I could clamp it, but this will do the job. Just to make sure that it's all sitting flush. Just make sure that's double check. That's all right. Yep. Okay, you know what they say, check twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, glue once. Yeah. Okay, like that. Cement a thicker one, like that. Around there. Down it goes. Just going to hold this for a bit and then I'll put that weight on top and leave it for a bit. There we go. Put that on there. Yeah, I'll just leave that till it dries. Then we'll put these bits on and the other two in there, which go on the top. All right, I'm going to go grab a quick coffee. By the time I'm done, we'll be back for this. Back in a sec. Okay, so let's see how this looks. Yep, sitting down nicely. All right, so now we put this piece. I can pick it up. It's just going to sit on there. So a little bit. Yeah, I might just give that a little file there. That's it. Yep. So we'll just glue that on there. Get a bit of cement for that. Just at those attachment points. Put a little bit there and there. Pop that on. Good. Now for this, I will actually clamp that. Just there. And outside. Just let that clamp down. Now we've got a couple of little panels that need to go up on the top here. That needs to sit in there. So there's a little notch in there where one of the brackets sits in, and then it sits up against the edge. So use some quick dry cement for this. I'll be able to hold that as it goes, locks into place. I think that's where it's going to go. Yeah. Alright. This might be easier to do off camera. All right, I'm going to do this off camera. It'll be easy for me to see what I'm doing. Back in a sec. Okay, so yeah, that was much easier to do off camera. The way that sits on the edge there to be just right, and she's just right there now, so that's good. All right. So that's all for step. I'm just letting them dry for a bit more, but now we got to. Well, that's it for step one. Yep, that's it. We can take that off now. Off. There we go. Good. Those aside. Move our glue. Top's done up. All right. Done. Let's go have a quick look at step two. And we'll move this here. So here we got lower hull part two. Makes sense. So we're going to do the sides of here, including the piece across the back. So that's the rear gate on the back of this, which means it's saying here to make holes, but it says do not make holes if assembling with the rear gate up. Okay, so I think we're assembling this with the rear gate down. So we won't be putting holes in there. Okay, so we made a bit of a mistake there. I'm actually doing it with the tailgate down, and I forgot to put the holes in there. I realised this after I've glued the piece in fact quite a bit after. So what I'll do is when it comes to putting in the tailgate, because I checked through the instructions and found the two holes that go in, the two pieces that go in the holes that are supposed to be there. So what I'll do is I'll drill them at that time, because the marks are on the inside and I can't see them now because it's already glued in place. But I'll be able to mark where the prongs are on the tailgate to line them up and get them on there properly. So just thought I'd just let you know that it's corrected that problem later on. Okay, cheers. So let's get our pieces off the sprue first. We need B11 and B1, and then that gate which is B2. So, yeah. All right, so grab B. B. We want B11 is going to be down here, I think. Yep. So that's it there. There's where the rollers look like they're going to attach there. So let me move that out of the way. All right, take this off. That one's. And then we need B1, is it? Yep. This is the other side. That, and then that rear gate is B2. It's this one here. B2. Yep. Okay. Right, so that's going to be that side. That's going to be this side. And then that one will be going like that. But first I need to clean up these, and then we'll come back and do what it says, put it on. Yep, okay, back again in a sec. Okay, so I've got all those parts cleaned up. Now we're going to have a look and see how these are going to go on. And we have it that way. Pretty much go on like that. And that looks like a nice bit. Very nice. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to do, I'll use the extra thin along there. I'll glue these pieces and I'll come back and we'll see if we can fit this last one, which will go on the back here. It should fit in there okay. Yeah. Alright, I'll be back in a sec. Just do a quick test fit of this. Is it an end? It's going to go like that. Yep. Just had to make sure that piece was pushed in properly. Just put a little bit more in there. And that's just sitting there, that's not glued. But it's perfect. Just make sure these sides are on correct. Then I'll glue that in. And then we'll just glue this in. Touch that in there. There. Just run that along the bottom there. That's good. Alright, I'm just going to leave that and let that cure properly. And then we'll come back and we'll do some more of step 2. There's some parts to come off from the C sprue. Camera. Well, that's bright, isn't it? Why is it so bright? Gosh. Let me try and adjust that. Way too bright. That would be exposure maybe. Oh, there we go. There. So we'll get C2, C1, which are the ones that have to go inside here. And then that's it, C2, C1. It's just showing two different angles. The top view, attach is shown. Yeah, all right, I'll whip those off the sprue, clean them up, and then by then they'll be ready to put in there. Back in a sec. Okay, so C2 and C1 are just these two brackets on the inside here. That's it. And they just slide behind those two slots on the wall. They're in place. I'll just touch them with some quick set. Just want to make sure that they are flush against that panel there. which it is now. I'm just going to like touch there. There. Same with the other one. There, there. The bottom. That wick through. Done. Okay. Put those down. Move that up there. And that is step 2. So with step 2 out of the way, I can circle all the parts that are done. Tick number 2. Am I circling it too? Yeah, I'm circling it as well. As done. Then we'll move on to step 3. Back in a sec. Fix that brightness a little bit. Okay, so now step 3 is attaching the fenders. So we've got to get B16. It's all in one piece. It looks like there's 2 little hooks that need to be added from D31. So let's grab B16. Okay, so there's B16. There's our fenders here. Take them off. And there. More, there it is. Oh, that one. There we go. And the other 2 bits were D31. Yeah. D31 is, where are we? 30. In close. 31. Obviously they're right in front of me. D29, D30, D31. They're 2 little bolts, like U-bolts. There they are. Over here. So there's about 4 here, but we only need 2 of them. And we'll take them off like this. 1, 2. Okay, that back. All right. And this is obviously, this is going to go something like that. Or like that. Not sure. Actually, it's going to go the other way around. And go on there like that. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll clean the bits and pieces of these, and I'll clean these too. And we'll come back and put this on. Now, these little pieces, they go here and here. There's 2 little holes, 2 little marks for them there. So I'll clean them up and put them on. And we'll see about lining it up onto that. Although we need to consider the painting. Whether, oh no, that's all right. We can still access. Oh, airbrush. Oh, yeah. We'll work that. We'll have a look at that when we get to it. We'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I've got all this cleaned up. Something I noticed, and I noticed it before when I was cleaning up the other parts I've done, plastic on this is really soft. Like, look at this. It's like really, yeah, it just feels softer than any other Tamiya plastic I've come across before. And you've got to be really careful when you're sanding because it's easy to sand too far. I was using my sanding sticks, but then I went to some sanding paper, which is a bit not so much coarse, and just it's so easy to go too far. But yeah, look at this. It's just so, yeah, just gotta be careful. I don't want to break anything. But very, not thin, just soft plastic for some reason. Anyway, let's get on with this. There's our two little hooks there, and they need to be glued on in their little positions here. So we've got like two locating points for them there and there. I'm just wondering whether I do that now or after I've glued it on. Probably better to do it after I glue it on. Guess it's not going to matter. Yeah, so let's bring our hull out and have a look at this. Now this is going to go on the other way around. And it's going to go on like that. Okay, one thing to be careful of is two little notches, little pieces sticking out there, which are pretty close to where the sprue connectors were, which was there and there, all on the inside. You don't want to cut that off because there's a little locating point for that in there. So yeah, so that's going to go on there like that. I think I will glue this on first. Yeah, it looks the best. Seems a good fit. Just checking all the way around. Yeah, that looks fine on that side, and it's fine there too. Okay. All right, so what I'll do is I'll run some contactor. Probably just, it doesn't sit actually on top of that, it sits on top of that. There's also two little marks there where that sort of locks it in place. Yeah, so I'll run some contactor glue there, and then here I'll use the extra, our thin glue here to let that seep into that spot along there. Yeah, that'll do it. Now, I was concerned about getting the airbrush in there and being able to paint in there, but this is actually all covered up. So none of that detail or anything in there will be seen. So I don't have to worry about that. So, yeah, so I'll run the glue along there. Just get that ready. Paper here. We'll have to heat the end of this as usual. It just burns the end off. Gets that flowing. There it is. Okay. Just a thin line along there. Same along there. And then we want to put, well, that was it pretty much. I'll use the extra thin on the front. Although there is a lip along there where that's going to sit, so I can run that along there too. Very lightly. Okay. All right, put that in place. That went in perfectly just then, first go. Double check. We're right. Yep, looks good. I did have these little weights. I'm not sure where they're gone. I used to put on here just to keep a little keep things firm, weighted down. I think that's how we want that. That's all right. Yep. Yeah, I'll just go and see if I can find those little weights. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so here they are. And I don't know what they're from. I think they're actually for the windows. They stop the wind. They're like stops to stop the window sliding open too much. I don't know what they weigh, but they're substantial. You know, I don't need it on there because that's already fine. There we go. We just put that there for a moment. Let that cure. And yeah, that's the fenders done, I think. Other than those two little, which I've probably lost now because I had them on the mat. There they are. There we go. Silly me, I should have put them back in the cup. That's how we lose things, isn't it? In fact, we can put these on now. Just looking here. Yeah, we'll put them in. So those are going to go like this. Yeah, one there and one there. And like that, and like that. That's fine. I think the well, extra thing. This will do the job. Touch that there. Very tiny bits. There and there. Yep, they don't need to be touched. They're perfect. Okay, that's good. Now we've done step 3. I've got that over here just off camera, but I'll just circle that. Tick off number 3 is done. Circle the parts are done. Turn the page over. Oh, actually, turn the page over properly. All right, let's have a look. So step 4 is attaching bulkheads. That's a bit different to what we were doing. And the air cleaners need to go on. So there's 2 air cleaners that go on some bulkhead walls that need to be put in position. So for that we need, what do we need? We need B13 and B12 of the walls. I'll turn it around this way so you can see that it looks like one's going to go down in here. Yeah, one's going to go in there and come up, and one's going to go in here, 2 bulkheads, and attached to them will be the air cleaners. All right, so let me get these bulkheads, which are B12 and 13. Get that back out of the road. Okay. Now, I've got a habit of leaving things around. Unnecessary mess. Okay. That. What was it? 12 and 13? Yeah. B12 and 13 is this one and this one. Okay. B12. Just whip that off. That one. And this one, be a bit careful, there's a bit of a thin part on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's what I just mentioned before about the thinness or the softness. Look how narrow those pieces are held together. Be careful the way you handle it. not to bend it too far. Alright, so we need to trim them up, but we've also got these air cleaners. In German, it looks like they're called Luft Filters. So that was an easy one to say. It's probably the last German I attempt. So again, these need to be cleaned up where they came off the sprue. It's just a matter of do that. Just checking to make sure they are where they came off the sprue and they're not tabs that I'm not supposed to take off. So that's fine. There's fine. These two on this end. 1, 2. Take that one off. Right, now we just got to sand them. I guess it makes it nice and easy to work with plastic when it's this soft. Yeah, between there's like the two little hinges of some sort that protrude out. That's that. Good. More there. There. So putting this to tank together, I've looked through and quite a lot goes together before we have to spray anything. In fact, practically the whole tank is going to be constructed before any parts need spraying, which makes the job easy. Areas that you think, oh, how am I going to get to that because of all these parts on there? But usually, in most cases, they can't be seen. A lot of the parts can't be seen at all. So, yeah, unlike building ships where you've got all these turrets and guns and all this stuff, that really it's better to spray them all separate while they're off the ship individually. That can be quite a task. Actually, a couple more there. That's it. Yeah. I really like when I saw this in the shop. I like the way it was open at the back, unlike a tank where a lot of it, the interior is it's mostly all covered up. In most cases, you can't see anything. But this is all open at the back and you can see everything and all the equipment, tools and stuff. So much more opportunity for the detailing. Okay, so that one's done. And this piece goes, fitting this the right way, it's going to go like this. Oh, look at that. Nice, firm fit. Beautiful. That's excellent. Almost don't even need to glue that. I'll just put some extra thin in there and let that seep in, and that'll be good. I'll leave that one there. This one here, we've got to be a bit more careful the way I handle it. Those thin sections. Just get the excess sprue bits off, connection points there. Always good to have a sharp blade. You're less likely to cut yourself with a sharp blade. I know it sounds wrong, but it's the fact that you're using less pressure when you're using it, so that if it does slip, which is the only way you're going to cut yourself, it's less likely to slip because it's cutting through with a sharp blade, of course. You know? So that's good there. I think that's all good. Bits there. Yeah, you're not using so much effort to cut. And of course, you just don't cut towards yourself helps as well, you know, which is something I don't see most modelers doing the right thing there, is not cutting towards themselves. So you avoid cutting yourself. Okay. Yeah. I'm speaking from experience of being a butcher, and yeah. And having said that, there was one time where I was working. We were boning out some hindquarters of beef on a rail. There was about 4 butchers in a line, and one of the guys, very good. He was very fast, had sharp knives. He used to whip through it really, really quick. So quick, actually, that he took a swipe to slice off the rump from the sirloin of the hindquarter of beef that was hanging there, and it went through so easily, his knife went out the other side and sliced his partner standing next to him. Wasn't as bad as it sounds, but the guy did get quite a nasty cut. From that moment on, everybody had to wear steel mesh aprons. Yeah, there was many times where I used to see people boning out stuff and going down the bones like this on the body on the rail, and slip and end up stabbing themselves in the leg. And you can watch out because you've got your main artery in the top of your leg. Very, very dangerous. So yeah, most butchers doing that sort of work have to wear steel mesh aprons. But not us modelers. We don't need to go to that extent. We're not going to do anything that drastic, I hope. But yeah. Anyway, it's a bit off subject. So this piece slides down in there. No, in there. Ah, yes, there's locating points in there where that slips in. Oh, I'm wondering why it's so heavy, because it's got those weights on there. Whoops. Have a look. There we go. Once again. Oh, perfect fit. Just need to let some extra thin wick its way along there, and those 2 bits will be in. Fantastic. Now, before I put them in though, on this one, there's a couple of holes where we need to put these, I'll see if you can show them. These are the air cleaners. See them there? And because once they're in place, they're quite down low to that sort of like a turret in there, that it's probably going to be easy to put them on and before I glue that particular bulkhead in. Yeah, in fact, it does look like the clearance is going to be close. I'm trying to go down the next picture and have a look, but it's got turned around and you can't see that side. Even over the page, I still can't see that side to see how close they are to this. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sure it'll fit. Yeah, you can't see. So everything's on the other angle. Yeah, no, they'll fit in there. But we'll put them on first, I think. So this can come back out. Whoops. That off. There. Okay. Yeah, so get them off the screw we shall. C18, 19, C16 and 17. That's left and right. So we'll do the left one first. C19 and C18. Okay, so once again, I'll move everything out of the way. That up here. I'll see through. Here they are down in here. And we'll get number 18 and 19 off. Yeah. 2. There's that off. 18 and 19. So those two go together. While we're here, we'll get the other two off, 16 and 17. Just remember, that is right side. Okay, remember that for me, guys. Right side. Must be able to get these mixed up if they have to label them left and right. All right, that's those. Screws back. All right side, yeah. That's right, yeah. Left side. Okay, let's just quickly put them together. Yep. They'll fit together fine. I'll probably, I'm going to glue them and then clean them up. Yeah. So I'll need a little one of these. Put that on like that, and I can just wipe some glue around that. Left. And this one, right. Good. There's a little locating tab in there, which is good of them to put. So that one's going to go in there. I'll just put that there. Okay. Bit of glue. Pretty much all we're going to need there is just seeping through underneath. There. Put there. Good. That for a minute. Step 5. It's getting step 4. I was looking ahead of myself there. It was step 4. This is all there is for step 4 before we go on to step 5, which is attaching the engine cover. And looks like there's photo etch parts going on that, so that's good. Okay, so left and right. Okay, I reckon that's just about good enough to start. Yeah, I'm gonna smooth the bottom of that out. I cut myself with a fresh bit of sandpaper. Just going to sand the bottom of that lightly. You're not going to see the bottom of that anyway, so I just realised. So there we go. There's a little bit here that you will see. Need to make that disappear. That's good. Smooth that off there. Some raised areas around the shape of this that I don't want to sand. But that looks almost there. Yep. Run my nail across it if I can't feel anything. Good. Even though you can still see where that spool was connected to it, the fact that I can't feel anything running my nail tells me that it's flat. And if there is any raised section at that level, the Mr. Surfacer I use, 1500 or whatever it was, that's going to fill anything anyway. All right, so this piece, let's have a look at the way they want that to go in. Oh, that's strange. Did I get them mixed? Oh, no. Here we go. I almost made that mistake after all that and put the left one in the right and the right in the left. Okay, so that's going to go straight like that. Yeah, can't go wrong with that. Perfect. And because they go right through, all I need to do is just touch a bit of the our favourite glue into here, like that, and like that. Just keep a little bit of pressure. That'll wick through the holes and hold those points where we want. And that one's done, that one's in. There we go. Alright, we'll do this one now. Same as before. Just that one on top that I need to make smooth. So we can see there. That's good. Run the nail across. Good. Yeah. Perfect. And the one on the bottom that you can't see, oh, we'll do that anyway, just for practice. Done. Okay, and this one will go this way. Same thing, we'll put our extra thin through from this side. Touch it there and there. Hold it down for a bit. Pressure. Notice too, just a little tip from an amateur that I heard from a professional, is if you hold the pressure on there that you want to hold when you're putting a piece on, have that pressure on there when you're applying this, and just keep that pressure, because what I find, and I was told this is true, if you apply this on and then push this down, you're going to find that it may seep out of the side from underneath and make a little bit of a mess around the outside. All right, now don't worry about it not getting in there. If you keep the pressure down, it will still wick in there. See, that's gone in, that's on now. But it won't squeeze out. So when you're going to put pressure on something that you're gluing, put it on there, then apply the glue. Is the best way I find. But anyway, you don't have to take any notice of me. I'm just that's just the way it works for me. Okay, that is done. Let me just test fit this now with these and see. Let's see if it fits, eh? It's across. This is going to go in there. And beautiful. Plenty of clearance. Turn around so you can see. Yeah, see? I can take these weights off too now. Put them somewhere within reach too, because they come in handy. All right. Now there was Yeah, no, that doesn't need any more glue. It's all good. Yeah. Okay, I'm happy with that. So I'm going to glue that in now. We'll just run some of the glue across that seam along there. And I'm just trying to decide which side would be better, but it's not going to make any difference. Okay. Well, I'll just do this. Just lightly across there. And then for the front bulkhead, we'll do the same thing. Across there. Across there. And I'll put a bit down in there too, where it's connecting into the bottom there. Just put some down in there. And for that one, that's pretty much it. There's nothing else. They're fine. Okay. Done. Okay, moving right along. Cross off step 4. Where's my pen gone? There it is. Circle tick number 4. Circle all the part numbers, all in, they're all on. Done. All right, step 5 is the engine cover. So there's a large piece that goes, we turn this around now, it's the way, same orientation as the instructions. We've got a piece that goes over on here now, connects onto that lip. You see that lip halfway along there? And it comes out here. By the looks of things. Yeah, it does. Okay. Might be a little bit, oh no, that should be fine. Let's have a look. All right, B15 has to come off and B6. B6 will go in the back here someplace. Probably just in there. So screw B, let's move that back out of the way again. Screw B, 15 is the big one here. Take that off. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we want, what was the other one? B6. Okay, they're very similar here, but this one here is the B6. Okay, so that's the bottom of this. So these are like containers. B6 is this. We'll do this one first. So it has the instructions are instructing us. Away. Okay. So I'll just clean these up quickly and we'll come back and we'll do a quick test fit before we glue them on. Be back in a sec. Okay, so I got those parts cleaned up. We're just looking at how these go on. So these have these parts here which have a couple of little connecting points on there. So that's going to go pretty much just like this. Get that right. There we go. So that's going to get glued in like that. Pretty simple. And then this part here, just making sure I put it the right way around, B6 there. So it goes down in here. I'll turn around so you can see. So down in this section here, That's going to slide down and get glued in there, which fits really tight. Nice fit. Alright, so I'm going to just glue these in. I know we're only, and we're going to have to end the video here because I didn't realise how long this has gone, well over the hour mark. Getting a bit carried away. I know we're halfway through step 5, but yeah, the next part, which will be part 2, we'll get onto the photo etch in the second half of step 5 and get that on there. Okay, so thanks guys for watching. Please comment below if you've got any hints or tips or questions or anything along that you might have thought about that you've seen. Let me know. You know, I'm breaking it. I haven't glued it yet. It's all right. Yeah. So yeah, and give us a thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in part 2. Okay. Cheers all. Bye.